Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a great week. We had the NFP on Friday, and there has been some really good moves on that. So talking about the NFP, there's been a question that I'm always asked. Do you trade fundamentals or do you trade news events? Now, I'll give you the answer shortly when we do the market recap, or rather when we start with the analysis this week. So what I'll show you is what our forecasts were before the NFP and how that played out. And then we'll analyze that, and that will give us an answer about that question. Do we trade news and fundamentals? So we're going to be looking at that. Before we get started, guys, if you'd like to contact us, you can do so by going to our YouTube page. Under the description of any of our videos, you'll find our contact details. Just make a note there. We post some short-term views on some of the charts here that you can really benefit from for free. So like, for example, we did a gold chart that is playing out very well, as well as the Brent crude oil chart also playing out very well. You can check those out. So just look out on our website. So website is trading-waves.com. So you'll find that under the description of the video. Those are the links to our social media pages. That is tradingwaves.com. That is our website, and then our social media pages, Twitter and Facebook. You can follow us there. We post a lot of charts before and after, as well as the chart of the week. You can find all of that on our website. So this is our website. Just go to the home page. You'll find all that detail that I'm talking about, as well as the chart of the week. Right, so that's that. Our next course, guys, will start on the 15th of February. That is next week, Tuesday. So you still have an opportunity to purchase your course. You've got a week, and you've got 14 hours to take advantage of the 30% special that, as you can see there with the countdown. Our course starts on the 14th. So there's a 30% special on our full course, as well as a one-on-one and the lifetime plan. So take advantage of that before the course starts on the 14th. You can already start watching the course as soon as you make a purchase and get access to all our services. Right, so let's get started. Let's look at the recaps for the week. We will get to the NFP, then the answer to whether we trade fundamentals or news events. Now, what we have here is Audi New Zealand. We have been looking at this chart for some time now. Let's have a look at that chart. So this is Audi New Zealand chart from December last year. So just have a look at how we pinpointed where the reversal was going to be at 10363. This is Audi New Zealand, and we were focusing that this was going to make a move all the way to the upside. How far has New Zealand gone since then? So what we do here, this is a 1 hour chart. So what we do is we are going to take only trades to the upside until the sequence in the cycles complete. So let's just have a look at how the chart, how the market played out eventually on that. So let's have a look here. That was the new Audi New Zealand chart before, and this is how it has played out from 10363. As you can see here, 10315 actually. That was a blue box area. We've now rallied over 300 pips as far as 700, which is about 400 pips since the forecast here. So as to where the next move is going to be, we'll look at that when we start with the market analysis. How did we know it's going to go all the way to the upside? It is a sequence in the cycle. It had nothing to do with the news. So let's have a look at the rest here. So this is Audi New Zealand. So what else do we have? We also have Pound Chief, which I showed last week here. Let's have a look at Pound Chief. So what was the forecast on Pound Chief? We knew that the cycle was completed. Why were we forecasting this? It was simply this, and this I've shown a number of times during this webinar. So you can see here we had a 3-wave structure, and we're looking for this one to drop here and push just up to this level. Why did we only focus this level? So we were looking at this. If you follow the lower degree here, 1, 2, 3, that is a lower degree there in ABC green. Maybe I should just show it in the green degree here. Let's show it in the color as it is denoted. Let's use the red color for the for this degree here. Okay, so this is what you have there. You've got the 3 waves, W, X, Y structure. We were simply looking at this to have completed and for this to start pushing to the upside. Now, in the lower degree, you will see that you also have an A, B, C corrective structure that we were looking at there as a zigzag, and you also had another A, BC here in the green degree, 1, 2, 3, this one with an extended Y degree. So that's where we focused that this was going to make a reversal there. So this was also on the 4th of December. How has that fared up since then? Let's have a look at that. How has that played out? So that is the 4th of December, and this is how it plays out after that. Okay, I'm still going to get to the charts that we focused at before the NFP on Friday. I hope you guys caught the move. So this is pound chief. This is where we focused it. That was the 3-wave move I was speaking about, the 3 waves degree there that you can see here in red. Okay, so that's what we have there. So you have in this way. So what do we expect the move to be? So we'll show you what we expect the move to be. How is this going to just go up in a straight line? We'll look at that when we start with the market analysis. Let's have a look at some more of these. Okay, so that was pound chief. Now let's have a look at some of the US dollar pairs. Now this is pound AUD. This is a 1-hour chart, rather pound US dollar. This is a 1-hour chart. Look at how we forecasted that this was going to make a reversal from the blue box. What is the basis of this? Have a look at this one here. Now, look at this chart here. This was on the 27th of January. When was the NFP? The NFP was only last week, Friday, on the 4th. So this has now made a move all the way back up to around this level, up to about 36. This is where we were focusing, that it's going to get up to 36, and that is where this has gone now. Let's have a look at how that has played out. So let's have a look at pound US dollar. As forecasted, you can see we've made all this move here. So now where do we expect the market to go next? Okay, we had this move. So before the NFP, we focused that it was going to make a move to the upside. You'll see those charts for Friday. And then this is where we are now. This could simply make a move like this and push to the upside. But let's not look at that right now. We'll just look at that as we start with the market analysis, because we have to combine that with what the indicator is telling us now. Here's another one, interesting one, pound yen. Look at pound yen, how we pinpointed that this was going to make a move to the upside. How far is pound yen now? Pound yen is around this area now, around 156 as forecasted. When was this? This was the 24th of January, and that has already made a move of about 400 pips or 300 pips from 153. This is how it's playing out. Let's have a look at this one here. Pound yen, as forecasted, as pinpointed from here, has now rallied over 400 pips to around that area. What's the next move? We'll have a look at that shortly when we get started. Right, pound, that was pound yen. Euro yen, look at euro yen. Amazing analysis on euro yen. So these are the charts that our members get before the move play out. How do we know that this was going to be the reversal? Exactly pinpointed, as you can see here. We wanted this to reverse and make a move to the upside. This is from the 25th of January. We were at 128.47. We were forecasting a move all the way to the upside. How does that play out on euro yen? Euro yen was actually amazing. Have a look at how this one plays out. Inch perfect, exactly as forecasted. How much is that? This is from 128 to 131.93. That is already 400 pips in just a couple of hours. So this is also from the moves that we got from the NFP. So then let's have a look at euro yen. Okay, that was euro yen. Let's have a look at the rest. Brent crude was just straightforward. If you look at Brent crude, we just simply wanted this one to continue from 86 and go all the way to 90. This was simply a bullish move, and you just could not miss that. Okay, so there's nothing special about this one here. So I've actually shown you the chart before. This is the before chart. This is the chart after that move. That is Brent crude. So let's have a look at these ones. All right, so let's have a look. This is what we have here on Brent crude has made that move to the upside. Now, let's have a look at the US dollar pairs. Now, this is going to answer the question that I was talking about. Do we trade fundamentals? So, and also news events. Let's have a look here. So what happened during the NFP? And I'm going to start with the 1-hour charts on both the euro and the DXY. Let's have a look at the euro first. Now, if you remember the euro last week, let's have a look at the euro. Let's have a look at the euro. So if you remember the euro last week, let's go first to the 4-hour. We were looking for these to break to the downside. We had this move here, we had this move here. So we were looking for this to just give us a pullback and continue to the downside. Instead, we've got this move here to the upside. That still looks like a three-wave move. What we're expecting with the euro is a move like this and a push to the upside. Now, I want to refer also to the website on these charts. Let's have a look at the euro as forecasted last week and see how that has played out. Let's have a look here on our resources and we look at our instruments. This is the view that you will get if you are subscribed. You will have access to all these charts. So let's have a look here first. Then we look at the US dollar pairs first. Let's have a look at the euro. Right, so the chart that you're seeing, this is the latest chart on the London chart. This was New York. So what were we expecting with the euro? What we were expecting with the euro, this was the New York chart. This was the New York chart on Thursday afternoon before the NFP. So we're looking for this one to make a move here and make a push to the upside. This is a 1 hour chart, and the euro has now made a move simply like this, has made a push to the upside up to this level. This was posted before the NFP. If you can just check the chart here and the time, this was the 3rd of February in the afternoon. So this is the New York, during New York session on Thursday afternoon. We were looking for this one to just make a pullback here and make a push to the upside. How did the euro play out? So instead, we've also just got the euro making that push back here as forecasted here, the 3-wave pullback and a continuation to the upside. Granted, we didn't get the exact pullback here. We wanted it to get to about the 50%, but we didn't get it to the 50%. But instead, this has just now made a move to the upside with the NFP and as forecasted. Now, for the rest of the chart, let's have a look at the rest of the chart. So this is euro. I want to look at all the US dollar pairs. Let's have a look at US dollar CAD as well. Let's have a look at US dollar CAD. Now, these were posted on the 3rd, the day before the NFP. How do they play out? Let's have a look. Now, this is US dollar CAD. What were we expecting with US dollar CAD? Again, I have to, let me zoom in here so you can see clearly. This was the 4th. This was at 7 a.m. in the morning. So that is the day on the of the NFP. That is about 8 hours before the NFP. What was the focus on US dollar CAD? The focus on US dollar CAD was for us to get this move to the upside. How did it play out? Remember, this was a couple of hours before the NFP, and looking at US dollar CAD, how does that play out? Exactly as forecasted. We've got a move here. So this is what we're expecting. So the move here, that move here, we wanted this to go slightly lower and push to the upside, but we didn't get the move to the downside. You'll see the exact ones that we pinpointed exactly as forecasted shortly. But this is showing you the sequence in the cycle. As much as we had the news events that pushes the market quickly, the structure still remains. We still got a move to the upside on US dollar CAD. Now let's have a look here at Audi US dollar. Have a look at Audi US dollar and New Zealand. Now these were inch perfect as forecasted. So let's have a look at the Audi US dollar. All of these posted for members before the NFP. Now, I only look at the news in hindsight after the moves have played out. Now, let's have a look at this. This is now, what time was this? Let's have a look. So let's have a look. So our members got this in the morning before the London session on Friday morning before the NFP. What did we expect? We expected this to make a move to the downside. Did we know that the NFP was going to have an effect on this that will push this to the downside? We didn't care what the outcome of the NFP is. We don't ignore it, but we don't let that influence our analysis. Instead, we follow the sequence and the structure. And in this case, our sequence was telling us more downside because we were on wave 1 here, we were on wave 2 here. What did we want? We wanted this to make a push to the downside. Have a look at Audi US dollar and how it played out. So this is Audi US dollar. Let's have a look at it. Exactly as forecasted. This is where we were Friday morning. How does the NFP play out? We drop to the downside. Now, remember, this for us had nothing to do with the news. We're looking at the structure. So we know that the charts or the fundamentals follow the charts. All right, so let's have a look here. And another one, this is New Zealand now. Let's have a look at New Zealand and how New Zealand has played out. If you're a trader, you already know how the New Zealand has played out, but I want to show you what we forecasted on the Friday morning before the start of the NFP. Let's have a look at New Zealand now. Trying to answer the question, do we trade fundamentals? Do we trade news? Let's have a look here. This is the London 1 hour chart on New Zealand. Have a look at this one here. Again, let's show what time this was. This was 7:36. That is about 8 hours before the start of the NFP. What did we focus? That this was going to make a push here, we're going to have a move here, and we're going to drop here. How did the market play out? Let's have a look at the New Zealand and see how the market played out. New Zealand, exactly as forecasted, we get a bit of a push to the upside, we get the drop. What do we expect the market to do? We still expect the market to continue pushing lower. All right, so that is New Zealand. Now, again, which one else do we have? We've got US dollar CHF as well. Let's have a look at US dollar CHF. So this is US dollar CHF. Let's have a look at what the forecast was as well. Now going to US dollar CHF, I want to go through all the US dollar pairs and how they played out during the NFP. So I'm focusing on the NFP just to answer this question. So as you can already see, the answer to the question is that we do not necessarily trade the news. We trade the structures. Yes, the news and the fundamentals can be a catalyst for the price to move quicker. So that does not influence us. So we don't even look at that when we do our analysis because we don't want to be influenced. What is the focus on US dollar CHF? We wanted this to push to the upside. We got this move during the NFP. Let's have a look here. Look at that move. So that is the move that we were looking at. Do we now get a move to the downside here? So that's what we're going to be looking at shortly when we start with the market move. So that was the NFP. Did I miss any? So we've looked at pound. Let's have a look at pound as well. Let's have a look at pound and the DXY. Just to show you what we had there. So let's have a look. Now you will see that also how that translates to the yen pairs, because the yen pairs are also affected by the results of the NFPs. All right, so this is what we have for pound US dollar. Let's have a look at the one before. So pound US dollar, we wanted to see this one push to the upside. Okay, wanted to see this one push to the upside. Instead, we only got this move up to here, and pound is now around this move. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look at pound US dollar. So we've made only this move. This was the NFP spike, but we're now here. So what is the next move going forward? Now let's have a look at the summary of all the US dollar pairs. You've seen how the NFP has affected the moves. So what does that mean for our analysis? We don't look at the fundamentals or the news as the basis of our analysis. We look at the sequences and the cycles. We look at the indicator that tells us when to enter, where to put our stop, and where to take profits. So that is how we analyze. We look at the cycles and the sequences. DXY. Okay, so let's have a look at the DXY. Last week on the DXY, we're looking at this one to break out of this structure, which has now happened, but now we are pulling back. What do we expect the DXY to play out like? So we expect that the DXY, let me go on, I'm on the 4 hour. The DXY will give us some consolidation here. We may get a bit of a push to the downside here, but the market is still bullish. We are still bullish on the DXY. And if we go to the daily, you'll see why we're still bullish on the DXY. That's because we're still bearish on the euro as well. Is it time for the DXY to come down? I'm expecting this one here to do this. If we're going to have a corrective structure here, it's going to be a deeper one like this, and then we start pushing to the upside, and that will be a wave 1 for these 5 waves, and 2 and continuation to the upside. Let's have a look at how this is going to play out. This is where we are currently with the DXY and the euro as well on the daily. Let's have a look at the euro on the daily. We'll have similar. As you can see here, this is making 5 waves. This is wave 1. This is wave 1 here, 2, 3 here. This could even be 1, 2, 3. All of this could be a wave 3, and this could be a whole wave 4. And we know that as far as the rules and the guidelines are concerned, this is the invalidation level. You don't want your wave 4 to come into this territory. So as much as this is pulling back here and making a correction, we are still bearish on the euro. we still expect it to just do this. We can have this one doing that, but eventually we should see the euro push to the downside. For those that are interested in the crypto webinar, just check out the next video, or you can always join us every Sunday immediately after this webinar. We have the crypto session. Now this is a pound US dollar. We've got this one focused up to this level. We pulled back here. We are currently here. We may get euro, or rather pound, doing this up to around this level. So watch out for the pound come down to around this level. We can have a structure like this and a structure like this, but all of that will still be bearish. So we can get back to around this level. So this is a long-term forecast, and you can see that the accuracy may not be so good around this level. So for now, what we're going to do here with the pound is we look at this structure here to give us a pullback. If you're going to get a move to the upside, this is another possibility. There's a number of possibilities on this one, but we are essentially bearish. There's no clear trade on for the week on this one, so we'll just be monitoring that. Very likely that this can just push to the upside here and give us this move. But pound US dollar, not as clear as the others. Right now, we've got US dollar CAD. US dollar CAD is showing us that, as you have seen there with the forecast before the NFP, this is pushing to the upside. We expect this one to continue to the upside here. Looks like we've got 5 waves here on US dollar CAD. So we will expect this one to give us a continuation push, a continuation move to the upside here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so that is US dollar CAD, US dollar CHF, the same. Let's have a look here. US dollar CHF could potentially push to the upside, but we simply have here a 1, 2, 3 wave structure here. Are we going to get this one as a 3-wave structure? And we start seeing here first here and a move to the upside, but eventually we're going to see this make a move to the upside. We'll be monitoring that. Audi US dollar and New Zealand are simple and straightforward. As you've seen with the analysis, we expect these to continue to the downside, so we should see this one pull back here and continue to the downside. We can reach this level and make a structure like this. If we make a structure like this, we're going to see more downside on Audi US dollar. New Zealand as well. Let's have a look at New Zealand. We've made a move to the downside. If we get a consolidation here and this one gets to around this level, we pull back here. This will be a very nice selling opportunity on New Zealand. Then we'll be looking for this to the downside. Still bearish. US dollar ZAR, this one tracks US dollar CAD. So we'll be watching what happens with this move here. This is a 1, 2, 3 wave structure. Are we going to get this one continuing to push to the upside to around this level? We can get a structure like this. Let's watch it. So I expect the US dollar ZAR to continue in this week to complete this move. This is what we're expecting. This red move is what we're expecting on US dollar ZAR, this move. Pound yen, you've already seen this one here. So we're looking for pound yen to go all the way to the upside here. So what we get, we need to wait for this structure here to give us a move like that. So we may get a bit of a pullback here, possibly even back to around this level, a move up, and then a move to the downside, as you've seen with the forecast. Now that was pound yen, US dollar yen. Now US dollar yen, let's have a look. Last week we focused that this was going to get up to this level and we're going to get a move to the downside. So what is the next move for US dollar yen? We may get a push to the upside here. So let's just watch for this one here. Not a clear structure at this stage. We could even be making a leading diagonal here as follows, but let's watch that for now. You're just going to see US dollar yen push to the upside. Okay, because of the strength in the US dollar. US dollar yen possibly playing out this running flat here, and we start with a move to the upside. Let's keep an eye on that one in the week. Euro yen, straightforward. You've seen how we focused this one from right at the bottom. We've already moved about 400 pips, so we expect this one to continue pushing to the upside. We should see this one reach around 133. We currently here, we should see that move to the upside. At 133, this could still make a reversal. Okay, so let's see how that's going to play out. What would the effect of that be? We may have a structure like this 1, 2, 3 up there. Let's have a look at this one here. So we could have this one as 1, 2, 3. We could have a flat correction here. But either way, whichever structure is going to make, for now, we're going to expect this one to continue pushing up to this level. That is EURJPY yen. Now, CHF yen, interesting. CHF yen has got a move. So while the other yen pairs were reacting to the upside, CHF yen has not hazardly reacted. So we could get a structure like this on CHF yen, a bit of a push to the downside before any move to the upside. So CHF yen, expect this structure to confirm downside. That will be a nice ABC pullback here on CHF yen. there's a potential for this to even continue lower and invalidate the ABC, and we just get this one here. For now, we're just going to focus on the move from current levels to around this level. That's the move we're going to be looking at in the week. AUD yen, let's have a look here. AUD yen, we've seen the forecast from last week where we focused that this is going to make a move to the downside from here. So we had these three-wave structures here, like this, 1, 2, 3. We also had a setup last week. If you go check the last week's video, we had a forecast for this one to come drop here. If I just go too quickly to that video, let me just show you again. Let me see if I have it readily available. Let's check it quickly. All right, let's have a look at last week's video and just show you the forecast here. So last week, this was the video last week. Guys, if you like what we do, drop us a like, drop us a comment, hit the bell notification button so that you get a notification the next time we upload a video. Let's have a look here. Note that we've got this timestamp, so you can always just go straight to any pair that you want to look at. And in this case, I want to look at AUD yen.
Which one do you think I'm having for dinner tonight?
Right, so AUD yen. So this was the focus on AUD yen. You've seen AUD yen. That's why we've been selling. You see that you saw the trade recaps. That's why we sold from here and expecting this one to drop. Okay, so let's have a look here. It's clear to see this on the daily, so you can understand why we have been bearish and why we've been selling. So we expected, just like the rest, that we also wanted one more up. That did not play out. When it didn't play out, and we got a setup here, that's why we sold it to the downside. Exactly there. Get around 76 there. So for the past 2 weeks, that is the forecast that we've been looking at on AUD yen and all the yen pairs. So let's have a look here. So that is the forecast. So what you saw in the video was a long-term forecast as well, showing that from here, we're expecting more drop to the downside. What has happened here is we have now got a very nice expanding flat, and we still expect this one to continue lower. So we should see AUD yen continue to the downside in this week as well. So AUD and New Zealand are very clear yen pairs for the week, as you can see here with the New Zealand as well, just like with New Zealand US dollar. With New Zealand yen, we are bearish. Consolidation here on the 1 hour should see us continue to the downside. Still bearish. CAD yen, the same, although CAD yen still going sideways. So we've got this move here on CAD yen. We've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3. So CAD yen could potentially push to around that level. We've got a 3-wave structure up to the upside here. We could get to this level here and make a structure like this. A pullback around this level will be a very nice selling opportunity, because we'll now have a WXY corrective structure with this complex B correction here in the middle as follows. So that's the WXY we'll have on CAD yen. Let's see how that plays out. Gold was our chart for last week. You can check this and follow it on our social media pages. Gold, we forecasted these moves here. So this was an amazing setup that I showed last week on gold, how we forecasted that this was going to push up here and drop. Okay, so that is what we had there. Why did we focus that was going to drop? That was because we had this structure here. If you look at this one here, this was a textbook expanding flat. We had a move around this level here. This was a textbook A, B, C move. So we got the C here, we got the drop. What do we expect? Gold is consolidating currently here. We should see this one still drop to the downside, because that is what the sequence is showing us on gold. We're still looking for more downside. Right, so that is gold, that is silver. Silver as well, last week we showed you how we focused that this was going to push to this level and drop. We're currently also consolidating around these levels. We could get a move like that, but we still expect this to be bearish eventually. Okay, so that's the move here. Then we still expect silver to be bearish. Platinum also, the commodities were just very good setups last week. Now looking at platinum, let's have a look at how platinum is playing out. So platinum one, we've got 1, 2, 3 here. We could get this one doing that. Let's just look at this structure properly here. 1, 2, we could have this one doing that. We could have this one doing this here. 1, 2, 1 move up and a downside here. So platinum last week, remember we said this is the blue box area, and we're expecting this one to reverse at that level. Why is that the blue box area? That's because we've got a WXY corrective structure here, or an ABC corrective structure rather. So we've got an A, we've got a B here. If you look at this one, textbook expanding flat, 1, 2, 3. we expected platinum to start dropping from this level. So nothing, it will not be surprising to see platinum start the drop from current levels. So keep an eye on that one. Brent crude oil, you've seen from 86 last week. We'll just expect this one to continue pushing to the upside. I've shown you that this is an impulsive move. That's why even when we're at 86, this consolidation, we just expect this to continue to the upside. There's nothing as more straightforward as Brent crude oil in the last couple of weeks. So it has just been this impulsive move. I've shown this one from the beginning of the year that we've got this one here, we've got this one here. This one is a 5-wave structure, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're currently in this 5th wave, so we're only looking for buys around this level. There's no sign of a reversal as yet to give us the deeper pullback before we get a move to the upside. For now, still bullish on oil. Let's go on to the pound pairs. Pound pairs, we're expecting pound to continue pushing to the upside. We're looking for this structure to play out 1, 2, 3 there. But be careful here. There's another possibility. The structure won't change, but there's a possibility that as much as we're expecting that move to the upside, the pound Audi could give us a move down here first. If it gives us a move down here first, that's giving us a W, that's giving us an X. So we'll expect a 3-wave move to the upside here around this level. Okay, so that's what we have there, looking for this one to make a push to the downside. Okay, pound Audi expected. So we need to get confirmation here whether it's going to push to the upside in a straight line or it's going to come down first before it goes to the upside. All right, so that is pound Audi. Pound New Zealand, we expect the same. We expect that this is going to push to the upside. But with pound New Zealand, the structure is almost complete. So you can look at it 2 ways. This one here, a move up here and a move here. So should we get now pound New Zealand to drop, but that will need to confirm with pound Audis. These are correlated. Either we've got that or this as the orthodox top for this move. So that's giving us 3 waves. If that is the case, we've got that. This should push slightly to the upside before we get the drop. No signs of this one reversing as yet. We should still see this one here at least. All right, so that's pound New Zealand, pound CAD. Now pound CAD, from right here at the bottom, it's making a 3-wave structure. We should see pound CAD get to around 174, 175 in this fashion. That's all you're looking for. As for what the makeup of this structure is, I'll show you next week what we expect this structure to be playing out as. I think I've shown you a bit last week, just to give you an indication, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we could be getting another 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3. And you'll notice that I've made this one here a single line here while we have this. So this could be a 3 waves for this, but forget about that for now. So all of these should have these 3 waves, but I don't want to complicate it. I just want to show you the bigger structure. If that is the case, then you've got this structure on pound CAD. So looking for this one to continue making a move to the upside, looking for this one to have been a move to the downside here like that, this one to come back down here. And to make it even more complicated, just so you can see the cycle and how this could get complicated, this is the structure, and we could have this one. Let's use another color here. Now this will complete the structure. This will complete the structure until we've got this one here. See, this process can continue forever. So where are we now? We're currently in this WXY structure here in the lower degree, WXY. So we'll be looking for this one to continue pushing to the upside. Nothing will be surprising if we see this one push to the downside first before going up, but let's not complicate it. Let's just watch for this one to continue to the upside. That is pound CAD, pound CHF. You've seen this one during trade recaps. So we focused this one to have completed this 3-wave structure in the red degree. It was the red degree in that case, looking for this one to continue pushing to the upside. Pound New Zealand, pound Audi cannot be bullish. Rather, this is pound ZAR. We're done with the pound pairs. Let's go to pound CHF. Rather, pound, euro pound. Now, euro pound, you're going to see a move to the upside here. You're going to see at least a 3-wave move to the upside to around 87 level. Okay, so let's have a look here at this in the lower degree for hour. So that is the structure that we've got. We've got this running flat here. We've got this move here. We've got 1, 2, 3. We've got this move here. So I'm expecting at least a 3-wave move here on euro pound to the upside. EURAUD. EURAUD, very interesting structure. Now you can see this is a textbook structure here on EURAUD. You've got 3 waves there, you've got 3 waves there, you've got 3 waves here. So this is going to push to the upside, possibly to around that level. There's a possibility that we could expect this one to do this, so it can give us this structure, but we don't expect that. It's not giving us indications of a reversal. So we'll expect EURAUD to just consolidate and continue pushing to the upside to give us this WXY corrective structure. Now, with that structure, what does that mean for the rest of the move? 1, 2, 3. If we get to that level, remember we already have this 1, 2, 3 here. So there's a possibility that from here, we also get a move to the downside like that. But for now, we're not worried about the move to the downside. We are at 61.71. We still expect to get to 64, which is over 200 pips. So we can still trade that move. All right, so in the next week, we can still look at that move. Euro New Zealand, we expect it to be bullish as well. Okay, EURAUD and EURAUD and Pound AUD and the Pound News AUD also those cannot be bullish and Euro New Zealand be bearish. It's not possible. They are correlated. So this should continue to push to the upside. So Pound AUD, Pound New Zealand, Euro New Zealand, Euro AUD, those are all bullish. We still expect them to make continuation moves to the upside. Small 1 hour corrective structures here and upside. Right, EURCAD, you've seen what we're expecting of Euro Power, or rather Pound CAD. We expect this one to continue pushing to the upside. So it's consolidation here, and this to continue to the upside. That is up EURCAD. EURGBP. EURGBP, let's go to the daily. Very nice move here on EURGBP for upside. Has made 1, 2, 3. Look at this 1, 2, 3 wave move. 1, 2, 3 wave move. We could be making another 1, 2, 3, which could give us a running flat if it gets to this level, or a regular flat if we get to this level. So EURGBP, we should expect it to go back to around this level and give us this bigger corrective structure. This will be a very nice selling area for EURGBP again. For now, you are on the upside here. We are bullish and looking for this one to give us confirmation for more upside. That is EURGBP. You've EUROZAR, we're not looking at that. You've seen AUD New Zealand. Now, Euro New Zealand, 2 things could happen here. Look at this one here. You've seen this one during trade recaps where we forecasted this. This one is going to make a move all the way to the upside. That is the expectation, but there's another possibility. As much as we've got that move here, it has gone up in a 3-wave structure. So have a look at this one here. It has gone up in a 3-wave structure. So this, if it's a 3-wave structure, we could still have this one as 1, 2, 3. We could have this one as 1, 2, 3. Get another 1, 2, 3 before we push to the upside, giving us this as a WXY corrective structure. So let's see how that's going to play out for now. There is a very likelihood that this starts giving us this structure here. We get confirmation for downside, and it's going to give us another 3 waves to the downside. Let's keep an eye on that one. That is New Zealand. We've been bearish on that one since December last year. Now this is AUDCAD, no signs of reversal here. Even if we do see this one here, the Audi is still bearish. And that's what we've been saying over the last couple of weeks. We've just been saying AUDCHF, AUDCAD, all just bearish. Now this is AUDCHF 1, 2. Even if we see a push to the upside, bearish. So that will just be giving you an opportunity to sell some more. No indications of a reversal as yet. New Zealand CAD, New Zealand CHF, also same, just bearish. So we've never looked for any selling buying opportunities on this. We've just been looking for sell setups on New Zealand CAD, New Zealand CHF. As you can see, even if Euro has made a spike to the upside, EURJPY has made a spike to the upside, look at what's happening to New Zealand CHF. That's simply because New Zealand and Audi have been bearish for some time. You will see Audi US dollar, New Zealand US dollar, New Zealand yen, Audi yen, New Zealand CAD, Audi CAD. All of these pairs that have got the Audi and the New Zealand in them are all bearish. So you're not looking for any buy setups on all of those pairs, whether they are on the US dollar pairs or the Euro pairs, they are all bearish. Okay. Now, lastly, on the Forex pairs, we've got CADJPY here. So CADJPY, we should see this one push to the downside. It has made a 3-wave corrective structure here as follows. This is a 1, 2, 3. We're going to see this one come down around this level. Right, so that is a pound JPY looking for more downside. Right, let's go to the indices. Last week, we showed why we expect the indices to make a push to the downside. And this is what I did. I'm going to show you again. This is a Dow Jones Industrial. I want us to compare it to the Dow Jones Transportation Average. So the two averages will give us, looking at the two averages, relative strength. Let's have a look at what this gives us. Now, this is a industrial, and I want to look at the average as well. Now, what we have here is this. We've got this one going to make a new high here. This one also made a new high. So no problems up to this point. Now, the problem comes when we get to this level. When you get to this level, what happens to the industrial average? The industrial average does the following. It makes a new high. This is a new high on the industrial average. But look what happens with the transportation. The transportation changes. It's telling us now that the direction is going to change as far as the indices are concerned. This is divergence, relative strength divergence. Okay, this is not the index, but rather relative strength between the two averages. And that tells you that we are going to be bearish. Now we've got this one here pulling back here in 3. I'm expecting this one to still continue to the downside. Okay, so we're still expecting this one to still push to the downside. The change is already indicated there, so I'm expecting that to go to the downside. Why would you be so confident of that divergence that it will change direction? I've shown last week here because it has happened before, and this is just only one instant. It always happens. And just to show you another instant that I showed last week here, look at this, makes a new high, changes direction. What happens eventually? We get the drop, okay? So again here, let's have a look here. Let's see if there's areas where we've got the big changes in direction, because this always happens whenever we've got changes in directions like that. Now look at this one here. I hope you can see it clearly. Even here, you will see that this makes a new high here. This, let's have a look here. This makes a new high. No, not at that level. I want to see why, if we had the indication for this one to give us that big change in direction. Yes. Now this, because if you look, follow the yellow makes a new low here. I'm going to remove that yellow line so you can see what is happening with the one with the candles here. Or let me show it with green. If you look at the green one here, this makes a new high. Right at that point, you get this big move to the downside. Okay, you get a change in direction because the relative strength between the two pairs is showing us the change, because there's divergence. They're not confirming each other. So that's why we're expecting the indices to change the direction in the next couple of days. Let's remove this one here and just look at the structures here. Let's have a look at the S&P 500 here now. Now the S&P 500, I'm expecting that the S&P 500 will just make a three-wave structure here, and we're going to see more downside. So that is the expectation there with the S&P 500. I'm not expecting any reversal as yet, and I'm just on the daily chart. You've seen the Dow Jones Industrial. This is where we're expecting this one to at least continue to the downside here. That is the Dow Jones Industrial, the NASDAQ as well. This is a three-wave move. Why am I saying three waves? You can see it clearly on the 4-hour. So this is the move here. 1, 2, 3. Expect this to continue lower. Even when this made a three-wave structure here, we still expected the same thing here. This was a nice regular flat, then the drop. So what is happening with the Dow Jones and the industrial and the transportation average is just confirming what we are seeing here on the NASDAQ. Okay, UK 100. Now the UK 100 is going to give us a drop. Even if that drop is just to come back to around this level, you've got 1, 2, 3 there. That drop can only just come up to this level. Let's see how far that goes, but we are short-term bullish as far as the UK 100 is concerned. All right, that is the UK 100, the DAX. Now the DAX, similarly, we had the three-wave structure here last week. We're expecting this one to continue to the downside. All right, so more downside on the DAX there. Right, so the DAX has a possibility to be giving us a continuation of, to the upside. So we can get to around this level and push to the upside. What structure will that be? That would be this structure, that will be this structure, and we would have had this complex correction here in the middle here, giving us this structure here as ABC correction on the DAX. So let's watch out for the DAX when it gets to this level. So we may get a reversal at that level for more upside. Let's watch that out. And the Nikkei. Nikkei, Is that structure that we've been looking at going to play out now? Looks likely. We've got 3 waves down, we've got 3 waves up, we've got another 3 waves to the downside. Do we start seeing the Nikkei push to the upside? What will that mean? That will mean that we have this as a 3-wave structure, this is a 3-wave structure, this is a 3-wave structure here, and all of that giving us this WXY corrective structure. This needs to confirm if this is a reversal, and we're going to see more upside. We'll be waiting for this confirmation in the coming week. Right, and lastly on the indices, the Nifty. Now looking at the Nifty, we've got the 3 waves to the downside. Why am I saying 3 waves? This is a lower degree here. The 3 waves is actually like this. On the Nifty, this is a pullback here. This is a move to the downside. We could be getting this one as a corrective structure. We can get this one coming down here. So even if we do get a deeper corrective structure like this, 1, 2, 3, and a move to the upside, that would be a WXY corrective structure on the Nifty. But we're not too worried about that. Let's watch the Nifty break to the downside from around this level. And that's all for this week, guys. If you like what we do, give us a thumbs up. You can drop your comment and your suggestions. We appreciate and value your feedback, as well as subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. Don't forget to hit the bell notification button so that you can get an alert next time we upload a video. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for the crypto webinar. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye. Cheers.